Let's go!
Well, I think PUKA Nakua, the Cooper Cup style guy, but I like, Jamar Chase.
It's Jack Bech, a sleeping giant in this NFL draft. Comment below if you believe he's the most underrated receiver this cycle. And a guy that's been heavily criticized, Jalen Milroe, throws up a slot fade, and Jack Bech does a good job adjusting to this. He tells the DB, "Get off me, son," and he makes a really good adjustment and makes this catch. Wow, good hands and a good strong finish. Now, you get Jack Bech. He's off the screen, but he's going from left to right. You get some good protection. A few other routes are actually open here after the somewhat high snap. But watch Jack Bech on this deep over. This ball is sailed a little high, and he extends and catches it at its highest point. So you see he passes up the in-breaker to Arian Smith, who was open. But look at this catch. Look at that. Bang! You love to see it, Mr. Jack Bech. So one thing I like about Jack is his freshman year at LSU, he was actually a hybrid tight end. They really didn't have another TE on the roster. So these kind of intermediate stop routes where you really need to get big is something that doesn't make him totally uncomfortable. Watch Jack Bech here on this block, and this is something that is actually run at the NFL quite a bit. A.J. Brown actually missed this block on Saquon Barkley's opening TD, and we just did a film study on Liam Cohen's very fun offense. Chris Godwin had a very fun down block here, and once again, it's kind of hard to see with this footage if he's actually looking down at the end right here. You don't want to do that, obviously, at the next level, because that could give away that you're down blocking and there could be a puller. But the block was still executed, and this kind of goes along with the tight end thing. And look at this. Not only is this block executed, he's physical enough to actually get some displacement here. That is freaking dunkulous stuff, and he does a good job staying play side, and it takes a while for this defender to cross face. Here's another blocking rep in the open field. Obviously, it's not much. DB's not going that hard, but you could see, look at him get low. He's a very willing down the field blocker. Love to see it, and a good clip from my buddy Max Toscano. Y'all, this blocking rep is just gross. Jack 26 has a freaking family. Look at this, okay? Now, is that holding with the arms being around there? I don't know. I just love the tenacity. Look at that. Obviously, this is a one-on-one drill where the wide receiver has such a huge advantage, but we'll do a video on this DB right here, Upton Stout. He's actually been locking people down in this drill, okay? So he's been one of the tougher guys to beat, and Jack just has so much power. You see the swim move, chops down that arm, and then still sells his route, right? So he's still selling that he could go on the over. That's a good job when you're stacking this DB, and he's running over here into space, and the throw is more ass than Kim Kardashian. So, man, Jack is very impressive. So here he is going up against Stout again. Once again, the footage here, not the absolute best, and creates that separation. And this obviously is the easiest route to complete in this drill, but it's good stuff. So I want to show Upton Stout some love, okay? Third rep versus Jack Bech. And here's the thing, most people are considering Bech as like a power slot type of player. Here he is lined up to the outside in like a traditional X role, and that's not really his game, right? The go ball game. Now, he can make some really good catches. That was the first one was a slot fade. This is just, a traditional go ball, and obviously this throw wasn't the best, but I'm telling you, Jack still almost catches this. I mean, look at that. It's really good coverage by Stout, who had a good day overall, but man, he's just fun to watch, Jack. All right, here's another in-breaker from Jack Bech, okay? Going up against Maxwell Harrison. All right, you can see Maxwell is starting to lose his balance already, but Bech does a really good job getting his body into the defender, and that also gets him off balance. So he gets vertical and then cuts to the inside. It's really, really, really good stuff. And, man, I understand it's one-on-one. That ball was thrown behind him, and he's still able to make the catch. Here's some Louisiana on Louisiana action right here. Jack Bech against Trey Amos of Ole Miss, who was at Alabama and UL before that. And, well, Trey's got to pull Jack Bech to prevent, and obviously it was a bad throw here as well. But, man, I do like Amos a lot. You can see there's a little flag being thrown in there. So there you go. Looks like we have a Big 12 battle here. And Jack Bech, this is the sign that you really are starting to cook people. Now, I'm not going to call him Tank Dell, but Tank Dell did these kinds of things to DBs in the one-on-ones, which is run routes so fast. And obviously, he was just tripped up here. He wasn't juked out. But the game is moving so fast that you're falling down, okay? Look at this. Man. Nasty, bro. Nasty.
That was my best friend. He was my other half. So these tattoos are right here, symbolizing that he was my other half of me. You know, this is going to stay clear. Nothing is ever going to be put on this side, but this shows that he's on my heart right here, and he's just the whole left side of me, my other half. So, like I said, it drives me every day. It's definitely super hard to be able to fight through it, but like I said, you grow through adversity if you look at it the right way and have the right perception of it, and that's what me and my family did. You know, we just decided to not ask why us, but to just embrace it and bring such a bad, tragic event into a bunch of light and bring a lot of people to Jesus Christ.
So, two big twists to the Jack Bech storyline. Obviously, he was involved in that national tragedy where his brother was tragically killed. He actually was a hero that day. So, yeah, and the second thing, of course, is I do know Jack. I've interviewed him on the channel. I've actually never met him in person, but his family, absolutely fantastic people. So my thoughts and prayers, obviously, out to him. But the bottom line, whether I interviewed him, whether you interviewed him, the guy has just dominated the Senior Bowl. And all you got to do is just Google Jack Bech Best Player Senior Bowl. There are so many people that are saying that very thing. Now, obviously, there's going to be some detractors. And if you guys want me to do an actual full film study of his actual film, I will happily do that. But, you know, some people don't like year 4 wide receiver prospects. Well, his first 2 years at LSU, he was in the most crowded wide receiver room you'll ever see with Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., and Kayshawn. And by the way, he outproduced Malik and Brian Thomas as a true freshman in that first season. And once again, there's a lot of caveats to that, but still, it was ridiculous. And then after year 2 at LSU, he decided to move on to TCU, where it was another crowded, and I say crowded, it was really crowded wide receiver room. They brought in so many different transfers, and then this year was really his first year as a full-time wide receiver, and he just dominated. He was a Blitnikoff semifinalist. So I am obviously a huge fan of his. It is funny that the number one comp that everybody's giving is basically the Rams receivers, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, and Jack Bech himself in that interview, Fareed Sadiq, I believe he's a really good fantasy analyst. The first 2 receivers out of his mouth, Puka Nacua and, of course, Cooper Kupp. So is this a Destiny Rams pickup? You guys let me know. But obviously, for personal reasons, I am really cheering for this guy, and I hope you are as well, okay? It is Power Hour NFL. Boom! So comment below. Do you think he sneaks into the first round? I don't think he's making it to the first, but the second or third, I do think he's a lock for being a day 2 pick. Let's go.